She was like, yeah, you putting all this stuff on social media. I bet you won't tell them why you got put out. I said, you talking about when you put me out over. Here she go. Muting the phone. Why is you muting the phone if you telling the truth? Y'all, I'm not.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't been here before and you're not a part of the family, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And hey, don't forget to comment and let me know how you felt about the video. And if you haven't already, hit that link in my bio so you can make sure you follow all my social media platforms. Let's get into the video.
I had no idea that y'all didn't know I got my stuff. I'm sorry I couldn't come back that same day and let y'all know that the police made sure I got my stuff, but it became such a long, drawn out process. I wasn't able to get on the road that night to go to Atlanta until 10 o'clock. So I got to Atlanta like 4 in the morning, because you know the U-Haul drives slower than a normal car. But anyway, this is what happened. Once I saw that my mom was gonna go in the house and like get her keys and leave, I was very serious about calling the police. I was like, the pepperoni is large and it's spicy and it's getting in their car and driving away. And they sent 2 patrol cars out. By the time they got there, my mom had already left. So they asked me what happened. I explained it to them. They were like, okay, so what I'm hearing is that you're the only child. Your mom put you out 2 months ago, but I'm looking at your driver's license and this address is still on there. Matter of fact, you just got this driver's license in January. And I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, so she did an illegal eviction because she didn't give you 30 days. She didn't give you a notice. The notice was not notarized by the sheriff and it wasn't served to you. I said, well, yeah. So the police calls my mom. Mind you, the operator who was first on the phone with me, I bust out crying. So they called her. She did not answer the phone, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think she answered the operator's phone, but she answered the police phone when they called. So when the police called and like asked her, man, what's going on? I'm here with your daughter. We're just trying to get her stuff so she can go ahead and leave. She was like, she was been supposed to come. Matter of fact, she was supposed to move out since 2018. Why would she say that, y'all? The police looked at my driver's license. They calculated my age. This girl was a minor in 2018. You get what I'm saying? Like, she was trying to prove a point so bad to where it made them side with me. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My mom has always talked about turning that house into an Airbnb. But anytime she would get mad at me was when she would tell me, go clean that room out. Go clear that room out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like an emotional... Even though she like kept it in the back of our head that eventually she would turn that house into an Airbnb, she only threw it up at me when I made her mad. So it was like, man, I used to be like, man, my mom just mad right now. She don't mean it. Like, she don't mean for me to just clean up, because you ain't cleared out them other rooms. So why you making me clear out my one room so you could turn the house into an Airbnb? And you only say that when you mad at me. But those type of conversations didn't start happening until like 2020, 2021. And I do apologize. I should have been cleaning the room out, but this is my mom. Like, she had 2 houses, so it was like, that's just the other house that I still got all my childhood stuff at. And she just mad right now. She could calm down, and lo and behold, she will always calm down. It would never be an issue. She telling them, oh, y'all know who her dad is? Her daddy is such and such, works for the police department. They looking at each other like, okay, like, what does that have to do with anything? Police ended up telling her, listen, ma'am, I'm looking at this girl's driver's license. This address is still on here, so that means she is still a resident of this house legally. So if she wants to break in to get her stuff, nothing is going to happen to her. Nobody is going to take her to jail. She's not going to face any consequences because this is her residence. She said, who? And nobody finna break in my house. So that, mind you, y'all saw in the screenshot, I got there around 2:53, 2:55, something like that. She left around 3. The bank, she said she had to go to the bank. The bank is only 12 minutes away from the house. Tell me why that lady, even with the police kept blowing her phone up, kept blowing her phone up, asking where you at, when you coming. Y'all, do you know that lady didn't come back till 4:35, and I only had until 5 o'clock to get my stuff? Imagine if they wasn't there. I was going to be in the same position I was the day she put me out, when I was supposed to come back and get my stuff and give my dog her eye medicine. She was like, I'm finna go. As soon as I didn't do what she wanted me to do, or comply to what she wanted me to do, she said, all right, I'm finna go. And I was like, okay, well, why you going? I'll just go ahead and start packing up my stuff. She was like, no, I'll pack it for you and have it outside for you. So I was like, Mom, I need to give Latte her eye medicine. Can you please let me know when you get back so I could come give her eye medicine? She said, okay. It was 11 o'clock at night. I'm sitting in the library parking lot of my school. She still hadn't called me. And I had school the next morning at 8 a.m. So I had to go and get a hotel. She never called me, never reached out to me. And when she did reach out to me, she said, I'm not talking to you. Mind you, this is what she's saying to me before this hit the media. So the reason I called the police is because I know that once she leaves that house, once she's mad at me and she tell me she's leaving, she's not coming back. She's not going to call me back. She's going to leave me out in the cold waiting. So when she did get back, tell me why one of the police officers, they walk up to a car like, hey, how you doing, ma'am? That's how she looking at him. She didn't even speak. She didn't say nothing. Like, she's purposely like being rude, and everybody, mind you, she doing this in front of my dude, his dad, all the cops. So they're letting her know like, hey man, we're here to make sure that she gets the rest of her stuff according to her driver's license. This is still her residence and she's trying to peacefully move out. Let's just let her get her stuff. It took us longer. So at some point the police that we called, or I called, came to me and he was like, hey, we're about to go ahead and leave. Do you feel safe? You feel comfortable? I'm like, yeah, because shoot, I'm in the house now. I mean, I don't feel like she's gonna do nothing to me, or I don't feel like it's like that. So I was like, yeah, you can leave, everything is good. She was like, no, I need for you to stay. So she said that the police needed to stay. He stayed for a little while longer, but at some point he left because it wasn't a disturbance anymore. I'm just getting my stuff. Mind you, before he left, he let me know, hey, you're a resident of this house, so if you need to tell anybody to come in here to help you to get your bed or get any of your things, you have the right to do so, because they're a guest of yours. So I'm like, okay. So the police leave, and I realized that we don't have a drill to undrill, like to drill my bed, like to take it down. So I decided to go in there. I'm like, hey mom, I'm about to invite his dad inside so he can help us take down the bed. We don't have a drill, so it's taking us longer to just do it by hand. She didn't respond to me. She acted like she didn't hear me. So I walked to the front door to tell him to come in. She said, oh, hold on, what you doing? I said I was finna ask him to come help us because we don't have a drill. She said, it's already two of you in here that's against me. I'm not finna have three, meaning his dad. So I'm like, mom, I'm not against you. She said, you called the police on me, and don't call me mama. I said, okay, Juan. She said, no, don't call me Juan. Call me Miss such and such. I'm not. We don't have a drill. I'm trying to invite him inside so he can help us. He's the older man. He knows what he's doing when it comes to handiwork. Let him come in here and help us take down the bed so we could go ahead and get out of your hair. I got to get on the road. She's standing there looking at me. So I said, okay, can I use your drill? Do you have a drill? She said, I have a drill, but it's not for you. Okay, now that almost sent me bonkers, because you could literally give us a drill so we could hurry up and get out of here, but you're doing that on purpose to make it more difficult. You don't like me. You don't want me to stay. So why else would you withhold a drill? You hate me that bad to where I can't use your drill just so I could get out of your face quicker? I go to the front door to try to invite him in anyway. Tell me why she yelling over my shoulder. You ain't coming in here. You don't even need to be a part of this. You come in here, I'm calling the police. Y'all, she doing this out loud in front of everybody. People got Ring cameras. She don't care who see her act a fool. And she on the phone. So at some point she ended up going back in the house. And I don't know if this happened before or after she came to the door and yelled at across the neighborhood. But I was like, she was like, yeah, you putting all this stuff on social media. I bet you won't tell them why you got put out. I said, you talking about when you put me out over. Here she go. Muting the phone. Why is you muting the phone if you telling the truth? Y'all, I'm not, bro. That right there, that almost sent me into a spiral, because there's no way you lying to somebody about what's going on. On top of that, because I wanted to invite the dad in to help us, she called the police again. This time it was all white officers. Oh my goodness, you finna get us shot. Go to the front with her. Mind you, I'm crying at this point. Like, it's sad to keep saying it over and over, like to tell different people that your mom is mistreating you. But one of them came back and they were like, I just want to tell you congratulations. Y'all, to this day, to this moment, my mom has not told me congratulations. She didn't say she was proud of me. Mind you, she didn't come to my, the reason she didn't come to my graduation wasn't because of me, wasn't because I did something to her so terrible. It wasn't because, oh, I did something to her so bad and she put me out and now she just can't even face going to my graduation. No, it's because she thought her sister would be there. That's why she didn't come to my graduation. But she on here trolling y'all, talking about some graduation. Like, that's wrong. That's very wrong. And I really would like for y'all to just stop mentioning me to her, because you can see that she doesn't like me. You can see blatantly that she does not care for me, because if she did, she wouldn't be in the comments trolling back. You get what I'm saying? People telling her, oh, she accomplished this, she accomplished that. They like, good. She like, bravo and stuff like that. Like, oh, somebody in their comments was like, stop trolling this lady about the graduation. If she didn't want to go, she didn't have to. And she loving the comment whole time. I didn't even do nothing to her to make, like, that's wrong to me. So I'm asking y'all to just stop saying stuff to her about me. You can see she don't like me. I got all my stuff. That's another thing. Everything, all of that is over with. I have my stuff. Just let her be, because it puts me in a position to be hurt even more. I don't get on here and act like I'm nonchalant, like I don't care about her, like it don't bother me, because that's unrealistic. That's my mom. That's my flesh and blood who raised me. So of course I care about her. Of course I'm not gonna let people in my comments, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna let y'all make me step out of character about her. You get what I'm saying? And she lets that happen. So just stop talking to her about me, please. So they literally started helping me take my stuff out. Officers, like, when you moving out, they don't really help because of liability, breaking stuff. But they were helping me get my stuff out of there. She's up in there with them, laughing and giggling about her German Shepherds. So yeah, that's what happened. I have all of my stuff. So y'all don't have to troll her about that. Please, I would say don't even troll her at all, because it's sad. People sending me screenshots of her like feeding into it. You can't show one screenshot of me talking bad about her. I've only answered so only one time. Somebody says your mom comes to your graduation. I said, LOL, nope. Because it's the truth. She didn't go.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you know the next time I'm posting.
What you out here being messy for?
It wasn't me who said it. I was just like, flock it.
You know I'm not messy, but I'm messy, man. Hey, look, chat. Now you know I ain't messy, but I'm just a little messy. You feel what I'm saying?